Hey, church family, thank you for joining us for today's Daily Devotional. Once again, I am not in our studio at the church. I've had a fortunate opportunity to spend some time this week with a few really awesome student pastors and leaders, church leaders from around our state and some surrounding states, just to get together and talk through ministry in the middle of COVID, but also just ministry in general, because we all want to be better at what we do. And so got some great ideas, great insights, some solid wisdom, things that have been shared with me while I've been here that I look forward to in time putting in place in our own student ministry in our church. And I thank you for giving me the time to go do things like this and to get better at my craft, to get better at what the Lord's called me to do. It is your support that's allowed me to do that, and I appreciate that, and I promise to take what I've learned and implement it there at our church. But I do want to jump into our daily devotional for today, and so we're continuing to look at Ephesians chapter 5, and we're seeing this comparison of the marriage between a man and a woman and how Christ loves the church. And so we pick up Ephesians chapter 5, looking at verses 28 through 31, which read, "In the same way, husbands are to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hates his own flesh, but provides and cares for it, just as Christ does for the church, since we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh." So again, just as throughout this entire section here in chapter 5, again, we see a comparison between Christ's love for the church and man's love for his wife. And you notice it says that the two become one. This picture of a husband and wife in marriage becoming one is this connection. Marriage, godly marriage, is meant for a man and a woman to come together and be completely connected emotionally, physically, spiritually. And in that, the man is going to make sacrifices. The man is going to love that wife and help create that connection. And in the same way, Christ has loved the church, and Christ models that for us, models that for men. So husbands, man, Christ has given us a picture of how we should love our wives. Teenagers, one day, Lord willing, you're going to get married, and Christ has shown us what a godly husband should look like. A godly husband is someone who's willing to give up whatever is necessary because they love their wife, just as Christ gave up whatever was necessary to love the church. And so in the same way that husband and wife comes together, they become united as one. We too, as the church, will be united with Christ. And that is a ongoing process, right? It's a reality that has started now, but it's not yet complete. But there will come a day when we stand before our King and we are fully justified. And not only are we saved spiritually, but we will be saved completely and physically, and we will be united to Christ in the way that it was always intended to be. And that is a joy that we can look forward to. And once again, also a reminder of how our marriages should look like now. So our author gives us a couple of questions that we can look at. The first is, what does it mean that a husband and wife are one flesh? And then secondly, how does this reflect our relationship with Christ? So I hope that you'll take a chance to work through those questions, maybe journaling or talking amongst yourselves. And as you're doing that, as you're figuring out, hey, what does it look like for us to be completely united with Christ? And how can we as a church prove or show or continue to seek out being united with Christ? How can men, you're listening, how can I unite with my wife and love her the way that Christ has loved his church? As you're working through that, as you're figuring that out, I want you to know that we love you and we're praying for you.